Elon Musk is undoubtedly one of the most accomplished guys on the planet. We can't say if the billionaire thinks the same for himself, as his biggest ambitious goal is yet to be accomplished. He has established a fully functional city on planet Mars and lives there forever. The proposed plan is to transfer about 1 million people from Earth to Mars using the incredible spaceships built by his giant space company, SpaceX. Stay tuned till the end to find out how SpaceX's crazy manufacturing just humiliated the entire rocket industry. Before humans can be moved to space, let alone survive there, the planet must be prepared for their arrival with all the essential human needs. This includes housing, life support systems, food, equipment, and other necessities. This goes to say that tons of cargo is required. Before this time, no spaceship had the magnitude to transport individuals from Earth to Mars, let alone the many tons of goods needed for this enormous project. It will interest you that Musk has grabbed the bull by the horns by constructing the Starship, the spaceship he requires to accomplish his space mission. However, to achieve his grand ambition in the set time, Musk would need not just one, 1,000 ships are required. So far, the production is on, but Musk wants to reach the point where SpaceX manufactures a Starship once a week, and the show will go even quicker. SpaceX plans to produce a Starship every 72 hours, or 3 days, in its plant. Building one every 3 days would yield around 100 per year, allowing SpaceX to achieve its target in less than a decade. In the first year, the 1,000-strong fleet, each capable of transporting 100 passengers, could convey 100,000 people or 100 megatons of goods to Mars to build Musk's super strange city. And although the plan might look absurd to some, Musk is dead serious about carrying it through. This is fantastic news for the rocket manufacturing sector. However, SpaceX's rivals Blue Origin, ULA, Boeing, and even NASA seem not to be up for the challenge, as they are all expanding slowly and sluggishly. With its production pace, SpaceX is indeed on its way to humiliating the entire rocket industry and eliminating any competition in the rocket manufacturing market. The question is, how does SpaceX plan to achieve this? What's their strategy? As part of the plan, Musk wants to enhance the spaceship built to be a reusable launch vehicle that would be the most prominent object to ever fly, and he has an amazing deal of expertise in this area. From 2017 through 2018, he endured operational hell at Tesla by establishing factories, altering countless procedures, enduring sleepless nights, and a series of mental anguish to ensure that Tesla reached its target of producing up to 10,000 EVs a week as it does now. Musk has adapted lessons learned from Tesla's manufacturing line to the Starship project, so it's just a matter of time until he achieves his objective here. In a true Elon Musk style, while constructing the Starship, he has already unveiled the next edition of the same rocket, which is incredible. This will expedite his Mars invasion preparations. Why accomplish in 10 years, which may be executed in 3? SpaceX frequently transport freight and humans to the International Space Station for commercial firms, including itself and government institutions such as the US military, so a much larger spacecraft will likely be helpful. This monstrous vessel will be 8 or 9 times larger than its current counterpart. Musk has also stated that version 2.0 will have a circumference of 18 meters, doubling the 9 meters of the current version being developed by SpaceX. One vital aspect of rocket construction is that they adhere to dimensions. For instance, after doubling the diameter, the height must be adjusted. So let us assume that SpaceX will move on to increase the existing size of 120 meters and Starship 2.0 will be 240 meters. That's a 9-fold increase in volume and capacity. What's more, Musk stated that a major design rework is required for the engine that can truly make life multi-planetary. So before its maiden orbital test flight, several improvements were carried out on the current Starship. The most outstanding is the all-new version of the Raptor rocket engine. intending to give the Starship its thrust. This engine is more effective and unbelievably less expensive to manufacture. The company is constructing a cutting-edge SpaceX plant in its large McGregor, Texas location. This facility will concentrate on mass production of the Raptor 2, and the California facility will manufacture the Raptor in vacuum and other experimental designs. Now this is what we call serious business. This isn't a failure story, despite the crashes and burning that ensued. In December of 2020, SpaceX launched SN8, the first proof-of-principle model with a nose cone cover, aerodynamic control surfaces, and 3 Raptor engines. The prototype was subjected to a series of tests, and to date, Ship 20 and Booster 4 have been successfully constructed and are anticipated to enter orbit soon. Simultaneously, they are building the Booster 5 and Ship 21 prototypes. SpaceX's astounding growth rate over the years cannot be overlooked. The firm has not failed to exhibit its expansion in rocket-building expertise. Compared to NASA's basic launch system known as the Big Rocket, which the space agency has been constructing for a decade, and Boeing has finished a single core stage, this core stage is around 15 meters taller than Starship. Although it lacks complexity, Boeing doesn't have to make the engines since the rocket employs 40-year-old Space Shuttle main engines. Despite this, with annual financing from NASA of roughly $2 billion, Boeing's stretch target for producing core stages is 1 to 2 each year. More than a decade later, NASA has spent more than $20 billion to get to the launch pad. To this end, the launch of this rocket would be a miracle. Over 5 years behind schedule and billions of dollars over budget, the SLS was slated to launch no sooner than June of 2022. Challenging human spaceflight tests are strict for a central bureaucracy like NASA, and the SLS rocket is technically and politically complex. Thus, the rapid growth of SpaceX would render NASA's rockets obsolete. With such a high rate of growth and invention, SpaceX rockets and the Raptor 2 engine are quickly becoming the leaders in rocket science. On the other hand, the Blue Origin BE-4, which is predicted to produce up to 240 pounds of thrust, employs an efficient but somewhat less combustion cycle and relies on the same methane and oxygen propellant as the Raptor 2, which is the closest similar engine. BE-4 testing began 16 months before the launch of the SpaceX Raptor in October 2017, and in almost 5 years afterward, Blue Origin has allegedly only produced and tested 9 prototypes. Since Blue Origin and ULA originally announced their ambitions to collaborate on a space voyage in September of 2014, it has been dangerously close to a decade, with nothing significant but delays and more delays. Bezos, the world's second richest man, had spent extensively on the BE-4 engine's development because he needed it to power his massive rocket, the New Glenn. Having ULA as a client would help defray some of the expenses. Although Blue Origin has repeatedly delayed the delivery, the Blue Origin engine is incomparable to the SpaceX Raptor 2. The Raptor 2 engine is obviously in a league of its own and fierce competition to overtake. Wondering what the Raptor 2 is all about? We'll tell you more. It is a methane liquid oxygen engine with a simplified design. The turbo gear has been completely replaced with a more straightforward and powerful one, allowing more fuel to be pumped into the engine. The combustion chamber nozzle and the electronics have been extensively overhauled to make the most of the extra fuel. To say this revolutionary engine is an understatement, the Raptor 2's impact will be enormous. Another factor contributing to SpaceX's swift ability to manufacture is the company's concern with procedures. Every stage of the production process has been optimized to the best of the world's engineers' abilities. As far back as 10 years ago, SpaceX has specialized machinery used primarily for 3D printing. You specify the shape of a tube, and the machine will flawlessly repeat it repeatedly, no matter how complicated it is. With the Raptor's 2 engines, production improved since the design was made as lean as possible. This technology is a characteristic of all Musk enterprises. SpaceX is a very great company. It's no surprise, however, that their unorthodox but brilliant manufacturing methods are keeping the rocket industry on its toes and will continue to do so for many years. Do you think the other companies stand a chance to catch up with SpaceX? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates of space news coming your way soon. Thanks for watching.